So the first thing I wanted to talk about with the VEYMAX Merlin is the price. With our discount code, it is only $616 US, which is a very attractive price. Now let's move on to the deck. The deck is made up of 2-ply Canadian maple, 2-ply fiberglass, and 2-ply bamboo. The board's total weight is a little over 20 pounds and the max load is 330 pounds. Now it does have some flex to it if you jump on it, but it's not as flexy as something like the original Backfire Zealot. The deck's length is 38 inches and the width is about 9.5 inches. It's got your average boosted style concave, so it locks you in when you're carving, and the deck is also equipped with the front and rear bash guards, so in case your board goes flying into a wall or a curb, it won't damage the actual deck itself. Now when it comes to the boosted street style boards, a lot of them nowadays are very funky looking. Crazy amount of colors, crazy amount of accents, crazy bold lights that add to the cost of the boards. With the Merlin, it's simple yet tolerable and at the same time a little premium looking. It just all comes together very well. As for the trucks, nothing spectacular, but certainly nothing to complain about. The Merlin is utilizing 8-inch reverse kingpin trucks with a 45-degree angle. Definitely the most stable boosted style street board I've ever ridden. However, that comes at a cost. The turning radius and the carve kind of suffered with these crazy 95A bushings, and honestly they felt more like 100A durometer. So of course I turned to Riptide. I utilized one 90A bushing on each truck, positioning both 90A bushings on the roadside for each truck. So mixing one 90A green Riptide on the roadside with the stock 95A board side was a perfect medium of carve, stability, and much better turning radius. As for the wheels, the VEYMAX Merlin is utilizing 90mm polyurethane wheels with a 60mm contact patch and a 78A durometer. Now this wheel is kind of a dime a dozen China-based wheel, which I've always said are very underrated. If you have a wheel that's too hard, it's just too uncomfortable and it can slide everywhere. If you have a wheel that's too soft, in my opinion, it compromises the predictability feeling underneath your feet. Carving aggressively and knowing the point where the wheel can break traction and you can control how and when it breaks traction is the number one important attribute, in my opinion, to a good street wheel. Here's a perfect example of one of those scenic walkways that really aren't meant for skateboard wheels. I can really whip out that back end and hold the traction. If I feel the wheel breaking traction, I can still 100% control it because it's very predictable. And if comfort is more important to you, you can add on the 105mm jelly wheels. As for the ESC and the remote is your standard lingy remote. The data screen shows everything you need. The battery for the remote, the battery for the board, your trip miles, your total miles, your speed, your brake modes, your speed modes, reverse and cruise control. The Lingy ESC is smooth. It's not twitchy like the older model Lingy ESCs. I also like the little exterior battery meter, and it also has a kickstart feature. As for the motors, the VEYMAX Merlin is utilizing belt drive motors, 1400 watts each, which is fairly big motors for a board in this price range. Okay guys, here we go. Giant hill test. Same hill we always use. VEYMAX Merlin. I'm going to put it in pro mode, which is the highest mode. I'm thinking 15 to 17 miles per hour up this hill. Let's see how she does. Okay, it got up there. Didn't fly up it, but it got up there. Okay, let's check the rider app. 21.2 miles per hour up the hill. Definitely surprised me. I was thinking about 17 max, so that's pretty good. Okay guys, top speed test on the VEYMAX Merlin. Pro mode, full battery. Let's do it. Okay, let's check the rider app. 28.1 miles per hour. Not bad. I think that's an appropriate speed for a budget belt drive board. Okay guys, acceleration test on the VEYMAX Merlin Pro mode, which is the highest setting. 1, 2, 3, go. Nice. It's exactly what I would expect for a $600 budget belt drive board. It's not crazy impressive, but it's certainly not disappointing. All right, now we're gonna do a brake test in pro mode. To adjust the brake settings, all you have to do is yank the brakes and hit the select button, and you'll see it go from pro mode, low mode, medium, high, and pro mode. So we're gonna do a brake test in pro mode. We'll do 15 miles per hour and then yank the brakes. 1, 2, 3, brake. Woohoo! Damn. That's good brakes, but I definitely have the belts loose. We'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, brake. Nice. Good brakes, for sure. As for the battery, the Merlin is utilizing a 12S 2P 432 watt hours with Samsung 50S cells, which again is very good for this price range. As for range, I'm a 160-pound rider and the temperature was about 66 degrees Fahrenheit. I was riding in high mode and pro mode, and I do carve a lot. I got a total of 17.8 miles of range with the VEYMAX Merlin. Final thoughts. Now, having a boosted style street board in your quiver I think is a must. Treating it like a traditional longboard like this, throwing it around, running errands, going to the store, it's just a lot of fun. With a big off-roading board or some 2-in-1s, you can't really do these kind of things with. And if you force yourself to do it, we all know it's kind of a pain. That's why I would never compromise the weight and size for more range on a street board like this. When you're riding a street board like this, you're out there having fun, you're practicing your shredding, you're running errands, and you're just enjoying the vibe. You're not worried about riding over 20 miles without actually stopping. Now, the only other boosted style belt drive board that's less money than this is the Pioneer X4 from Wowgo. Now, we're only talking 16 bucks less, but when you save that 16 measly bucks, you get a smaller battery and smaller motors. Now, I've had a few Wowgo boards and their customer service really wasn't that good, so I can't really vouch for them. I 100% vouch for VEYMAX, and I still beat the crap out of their current hub boards that I still have. Thank you for watching, guys.